man. Shit way too expensive to be wasting. Goddamn, we gonna use this baby oil. It's time to get freaky. Yeah, where my freaks at?
You ready, Mace? Party people in the place to be. It's about that time for us to.
Yeah. Welcome back to Culture Godz channel. I am your herald, Mike Nix, and this is just my collection of thoughts, man. From time to time, I like to gather my thoughts and collect them together and talk to y'all about shit that it matters to me, that matters to the culture, but also matters to me. Damn. Hold on a second, y'all. We got to get this cord together. Okay. This is not a gossip channel. This is not TMZ. This is not keeping tabs on everything that's going on in the music industry. I don't give a fuck about a lot of shit that y'all give a fuck about, or that a lot of people give a fuck about. But from time to time, there's some things that come across my mind in regards to, I don't know, shit that it just kind of, rumbles around up there. And I feel like, it's necessary to open the conversation, and if nothing else, put the conversation out into the universe. Maybe y'all can add your pieces to it, and we can just kind of go from there. I'm just a regular nigga like y'all. I'm just a herald of the Culture Godz. If you don't know, if you've been hiding under a rock, Diddy, I call him Puff. If you from my era, we call him Puff. Sean Puffy Combs, Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call him. He's been in a lot of trouble. That's an understatement. His homes got raided, of course. He's in jail right now, and things aren't looking good. I'm gonna go back here with y'all right quick. I'm gonna try to make this video not too long, because there's nothing about Puff's situation and that you guys probably by now haven't seen or haven't heard. Like, it's really up to the minute at this point. But for me, if you are a 90s kid, then Puff was a big part of your childhood. Simple as that. There is no part of hip hop and R&B that exists without Sean Puffy Combs. Simple as that. From Faith Evans to Biggie, of course, God rest his soul, Craig Mack, Black Rob, 112, Mace, of course, my favorite personal artist off of Bad Boy. Let's see, he did countless records with so many artists. He wrote for, he probably produced for a lot of artists, but he wasn't a rapper. We didn't consider him a rapper. So when he rapped, it was always written by somebody else, mostly Mace. But I was practically raised on Puff's music, and there was a lot of there was not really any controversy around him growing up. Death Row, Bad Boy, Def Jam, So Def. I'm giving y'all a little history lesson for the kids that don't know, that y'all just jumping on social media, just eating up whatever you see. There's a lot of history here. This is why this is such a big deal. He became a billionaire for a reason. In the early 2000s, Puff was when the Suspect shit started to come out. Shit started looking real crazy. The videos, footage, whatever. Apparently he's throwing these parties. There's countless videos of him online talking about the parties he's thrown and how he's infamous for his parties, right? Cool. There's nothing wrong with throwing parties. But as of the last couple of years, shit started getting real crazy. I remember seeing a video several years ago, before anything popped off, before the Cassie video, before any of that, where there was a male porn star who, there's an interrogation video of him talking about how, this nigga was like basically hired to fuck Cassie and have and while Diddy sat back and watched, like a cuck, basically. If you know what a cuck is, go look that shit up. I'm not gonna talk a whole lot of porn shit here, but anyway, there was a fucking net in my damn apartment. He wants to be in the video. I'm gonna kill his ass though. Anyway, so Yeah, so that leads some, lends some legitimacy to the shit we've been hearing about him hiring sex workers and shit like that. Now, hiring a porn star, or hiring somebody who's willing to come into your home and have sex with your wife or whoever the case is, that's not sex trafficking, even if you did pay for their Uber to get over there. The late 2000s, I saw some Justin Bieber videos that were kind of weird, sketchy, where he took him under his wing. I think Justin Bieber. So Puff found Usher. Usher then found Bieber and I think sent him off to Puff to be mentored at that point. And there's some videos out there with Justin Bieber and Puff when they were younger, running around and shit like that. Let's see. There's so much with this. I had to, I've got notes sometimes. I like to go off the top of my dome when it comes to my collection of thoughts, this series here, this portion of the videos, because a lot of it really is just me thinking out loud for real. But there was so much that I don't want to miss anything about what I was thinking about. He's been, locked up for sex trafficking and racketeering. Of course, there's drugs involved. There's guns involved and everything like that. Now, with his parties, of course, it's been said, allegedly, that, he basically would lace everybody's drinks with a drug or a combination of drugs that he's concocted together so that everybody can get loose. There's a video online that I just saw the other day, and I think I've seen all of the Sketchy Puff videos somehow on the internet over the years. I'm talking like a couple decades. I see him, I click on it. Okay, cool. It lines up basically. And shit gets crazy. Shit gets wild at these parties. To me, it's not a big deal. It wasn't like, Hollywood parties are a thing. Molly, if you ever experimented with Molly and ecstasy and coke and shit like that, you know what it does. I don't even have to go into it, but I understand. You know what I'm saying? I understand that being the party favor of choice. It didn't bother me when I heard about this, Puff's infamous parties, because if you know about Studio 54, with kids, again, you probably don't, but do your research on Studio 54 and countless other clubs. I think Prince had a club back in the day. I think Will Smith talks about it. Him and Martin went to it, and there was some funny shit that happened. But, Studio 54, Michael Jackson, all the biggest celebrities. You know how they talk about all the big celebrities or have been to all of Puff's parties? It was the same way. There's always one big, centerpiece or person that brings all these celebrities together, that throws the biggest parties out of every generation. It's been like Mike Tyson used to do it. I think that's how him and Donald Trump have been cool. Prince did it, you know what I'm saying? Studio 54 was infamous in the 70s and 80s. Michael Jackson, some Diana Ross. It's so many videos and pictures of people going to that club. And there's a point in the middle of the night at Studio 54 back in the day where cocaine spoon on like a moon or something comes down from the ceiling, and that's the sign, or that's the fucking bat signal for it's time to break out the candy, you know what I'm saying? And then the bitches will walk around with the platters with the fucking lines on them and whatever is the weed or whatever it is that you want at the party. And these are private parties. So Hollywood parties, with drugs and naked women on swings and in cages and shit, man, y'all, this is nothing new to most of us. Maybe in this new shocking all cancel culture era it is, but to the rest of us, this is not nothing new. It's not nothing crazy outside of the drugs being illegal in the party, which most of y'all out there probably do anyway, recreationally. It's nothing to really like scream about. But Usher just deleted about 1,000 tweets. I'm sorry, not 1,000 tweets. I think it was like 8,000 tweets. And then his handler, of course, jumps on there and says, "Ha, you fell for it." Some bullshit about him getting hacked or something. I don't know. All I can say is Usher is my man. Like, Usher is, to me, we're talking generationally one of the top R&B kings of the generations, of probably 2 generations. Usher's up there for me. So, I mean, say what you want about him. Unless it comes out that he did some crazy, wild shit, I ain't got nothing bad to say about Usher. He was young when he got into the industry, and we all know that a lot of kids go through a lot of bullshit when they first get into the industry. There's a wild, I gotta find it, but there's a wild video or collection of videos. I want to say Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, MTR. Shouts out to my man. I think he has the video that has all of these. There's a string of different clips of Bieber when he first got in the industry, and he was really young. Maybe he was like 14 or something like that. And all these different clips of adults saying inappropriate shit to him on air. It's wild, man. And it's not like one or two. It's a bunch of them. It's crazy. So Diddy gets busted, 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. The man is a freak. I mean, he likes to get freaky. He's a freaky deaky. He's a freaky ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what to say about that. One of the things that bothered me, though, as I got older, is I didn't realize how many deaths were related to Puff, too. And again, this is not an indictment on Puff, because I pray that the worst that comes out of this is he had some drugs, he had some guns, but he threw wild parties, and that was it. You know, no sex trafficking. I don't want to, hopefully there's no more abuse that come up. There are plenty of lawsuits out there against him right now with abuse allegations. I'm praying it's not true. If it is, then he's got to pay the consequences for that. I find it really funny, though, that, outside of all the deaths that surround Puff and all the almost deaths that surround Puff, too, I always thought it was interesting, some of the business practices. Like when Big died, he immediately went and got Shine, who sounds just like Big. And we all know how that went down, when they shot up the club and allegedly Puff shot somebody in the face and they got out of there. Puff was on the opposite side of Shine when they went to court, apparently. Puff's the reason why Shine got sent up the river, why he had to do all that time, why he had to sit down, and then so Biggie dies. He goes and gets another person that sounds just like Big. Mace leaves and goes and becomes a preacher, and he goes and signs Loon, who sounds just like Mace. I'll say this, I was really disappointed when Mace left the industry, because he left at the height. Imagine whoever your favorite rapper is right now, kids, whoever they are. Imagine if they're at their peak right now. Let's say Tizo Touchdown, right? Let's say he just decides to go and become a pastor tomorrow. You're gonna be like, well, what the fuck? Like he just dropped an album. He just dropped a couple songs a couple days ago. Like, what the fuck? That's how I felt. Shouts out to Tizo Touchdown too. I like him. I like his music. But Mace goes and becomes a pastor, and no one knew why. There's all kind of theories. Jim Jones and them said he got ran out of Harlem. He said he did not get run out of Harlem. But looking back on it now, I love to see Mace thriving with Cameron. I love to see him back. Let me just say that too. I love the Is What It Is podcast, because between Joe Budden, these guys came from the same era, and to see them thriving in this era, being able to be themselves, talk about the shit that they've been through and give their stories while giving us entertainment on a different entertainment platform, is just the illest shit to me. And Mace has talked a little bit about him getting out of there when he was with Bad Boy. But looking back, we see why. He must have seen some shit or witnessed some shit that made him go, nah, bro, I gotta go give my life to God, because what y'all doing around this motherfucker is not right. It is not godly, And I love to see Mace thriving. Man, the dude and lost weight and shit and got his teeth straight and all that, man. Doing his thing, man. But I think that when it's all said and done, whatever's in the dark will come to the light. And we've heard for years that Puff was a monster. I don't know Puff personally. I don't know anybody in the industry. I know one person, and I give you this. This has nothing to do with nothing. I do music, and years ago, well over a decade ago, I got a chance to go to New York. But before that happened, though, I got in touch with somebody named Sco. SCOE is how you spell his name if you look him up. He was in Puff's camp back in the day, and he had a hand in doing the Making the Band thing. When during the MySpace days, I was putting music up, and Sko reached out to me, and we had a little exchange. It was the basic A&R, pay me to walk you into a label type of bullshit, and I turned him down. And our exchange wasn't, it was friendly on my part. I just basically respectfully declined it, and then he hit me back on some bullshit. I remember that email, that the emails and the text messages back and forth to this day. No, I didn't talk to Puff. No, I don't know Puff. No, I don't know anything beyond that conversation. But I will say that the industry is fucked up. It's evil on just getting in the door. I can only imagine what goes on behind closed doors. The doors that I'm trying to get into, I can only imagine what goes on once you finally get in there. With all that being said, thoughts and prayers to anybody that is actually a victim of Puff over the years. Anybody that willingly went to those parties, though, you're not a victim. You went, you had a blast, you had a slice. And but I think that dark times are ahead for Puff, unless his defense team is just the best in the world. I had to punch in here right quick because there were some important things that you need to understand. Again, with this just being a collection of thoughts, this is also kind of like, is there some lessons here? One of the lessons here for real is arrogance and power. There's a video out there, with Fabulous, and it's on Drink Champs, Diddy, Fabulous, Jadakiss. I can't remember who else is there, but
I got Mr. Lee.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my bag?
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like when you
it's
scrambling
right
and scraping for shit.
No.
I like that.
Shit. I'll be practicing. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go over with that one.
Make a
that
wish.
one.
Just blow it out. It's your birthday every day.
Every day's your birthday on Drink Champs. Goddammit, I'm in.
Where I look back on where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real, because it seems like a thing.
I miss
with this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man.
But I'm talking about for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying? Eyes, brother.
Oh, man.
Eyes. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So check this out. It's me, Tyrese, Ray J, and F. Gary Gray. I'm a type of nigga, I like variety, man. I like people that's unpredictable. I like different personalities. So I was like, I never knew they would become what they are today. But you know what I'm saying? They're like, that sounded like the type of night I want to have in Vegas. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So Tyrese kept on talking.
This is a Floyd fight, right?
Yeah. And Tyrese keep on talking about like how you got to get back for church. And we just like, the night ain't start. You got to get back for church. We in motherfucking Vegas, nigga. Like, you can go to church next week. You know what I'm saying? Sending your thing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing, we in Vegas. Don't be bringing God into this situation. Don't bring God into this situation. You know what I'm saying? F. Gary Gray is like, nigga, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Ray J. So Ray J is like just really like feeling like Ray J right now.
Basically, the way everybody was acting around Puff was like they were scared to say anything. Like when you gotta act like a scared child in front of a nigga, like that's crazy, man. Like to have that kind of power and influence over people that it makes everybody in the room uncomfortable. But he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can say whatever the fuck he wants, and no one is checking him on this shit. That's wild. And you can tell, like, a grown man is scared to even like say, I don't want to party with you. Like, bro, like we already party. Like, I don't want to do any more partying, nigga. I don't want to come to your freak offs. Is basically what Fab was saying, But it's just the level of influence that he has, and that he abused it so much, I think, is what gets me. And there's a lesson in all of that, But back to the original video. Outside of that, I really don't have any thoughts or opinions on it. Love and light to everybody. And I guess the biggest question, though, is will I still keep my bad boy playlist?
Come on. I'm the definition of half man, half drugs. Ass the clubs, bad boy, that's what's up. After bucks, crush crews after us. No games, we ain't laughing much.